Of all the advice I've seen in trading, one advice keeps sticking to me, and it's something I have seen in other fields of life. The only way to get better is to learn at something, is to learn from your mistake and become better at it. This is exactly what I am trying to apply in trading here, and for the past 2 weeks we have been taking lots of trades. This video is all about the analysis of the past 2 weeks, every trade we've taken, but in a very condensed manner. I hope you guys enjoy it. Peace. Like I said before I started, we're going to take a lot of trades just to get the reps in, understand what we're doing to a somewhat clearest extent, and then moving on, we're going to then go with the elimination method, refine and improve, which is by taking all the things you get, all the data you gather, cutting out the unnecessary and learning the better way to do something. That way you also improve your win rates, you improve your ability to absorb or run away from losses, and you also improve the way you trade overall. So this morning I went on an adventure to look for a way to analyze all those trades. I didn't want to have to be going through Notion and doing those analysis myself. Neither did I want to pull out this information and do analysis myself, because if I was going to do some Excel analysis, it's going to take me roughly 4 to 7, 8 hours to do all those analyses, make some dashboard and everything. So I needed a tool that can do this. Obviously, TradeZilla is one of the best tools out there everybody knows of, but it is a paid tool with roughly $20-something per month. In Nigeria, that is a lot of money. In that case, I decided let's look for something that's free. Hence, I found this website called Trades, which it kind of worked because I imported my information here. Yes, everything is here. However, I noticed a small problem, right? Because I have a lot of on-running trades, like ongoing trades, but I also noticed a problem. It kept stopping at 22nd. Then I went to TradingView to observe what was happening, and I noticed the same error. When I go to the history tab and all history, it went to 100 history tabs, history duration, and it stops on 22nd. If I go for only field order, it went all the way till 22nd. It doesn't go beyond 22nd. Why is this a problem? Well, look at the account history here, and you'll notice this account actually started trading on 15th of September with $100,000 balance. Hence, it is not seeing all the history. That was one issue. If that was the only issue, I wouldn't have a problem. I would manually enter every other thing before 22nd. That's like 10 trades or so. But this was where the problem, the no came from. The average P&L, what I saw here was $15,203, which is absolutely crazy. I have never traded up to $5,000 in a single trade, except if it's not looking at amount end, is looking at a margin, because I don't understand why my closed P&L is over $300,000 plus, which is again not realistic to me. So I did the one thing every tech bro would do. I decided to take this whole information to AI myself. I exported the data and I went to a paid AI system, Copilot. And then I asked Copilot if Copilot could do the analysis on the trading account, give me the win rates, the win loss, profit loss, and the rest, which obviously, I will tell you, yes, it can. And I fed it the data. Now I fed it the account history as well as the history of all field entries, all field orders I have, both the field, on field, cancelled and everything. It did a look at all of that and did an analysis right up here. Now there's an error here. This is much more correct compared to the one it spitted out on the Excel, because what happened was the Excel I pulled out the Excel, I think yesterday. I had about 40 trades yesterday when I pulled out the very first Excel. But this one I pulled, when I gave it the history, I already had today's trade in the history. So this was from the history of what I gave to him, which is 41 trades total. I have 17 winning trades and 24 losing trades with 2 break even. My win rate is 41.4%, rather 41.5. My lose rate is 58.5, which is huge, bigger than the win rate. And my break even is 4% or 5%, if I should say, 4.8, which is 5. However, my profits is 13,819, while my loss is $11,138, meaning I am in profit of $1,951. That is huge. If it was a real account, you've made some small money, right? And it means my average profit per trade is $770. My average loss per trade is $464. This brings me down to a profit factor of $1 of 1.18, which is a profitable strategy overall. Basically, what this thing is saying is trend line, even taken at random, is a profitable strategy. How? Well, this is something you need to be aware of. If you've watched my video over the past 1 week, you will notice I entered trades stupidly. There is no real depth analysis. There's just draw the line. When price crosses, take a trade. And I did it across any pair I just lay my hands on. It was absolutely random, absolutely careless, and absolutely unserious. With all of that in mind, put that in your mind and look at it. If somebody took those kinds of trades at random with their strategy, would they even end up profitable? Most strategy requires you to have clinical accuracy most times. This, I didn't do it with any accuracy. I just did by the flywheel, and I'm ending up still quite profitable. So what does this mean? We're moving on to stage 2. I said this in my previous times that the first sets of trades were just to get the rep in. If you go into the gym, you cannot just go and start picking up 50 kg on dumbbells. You have to start with something light. You need to get the reps in, and those 50 trades to me, those 40 something trades basically, was just getting the reps in. I have gotten the reps in trend line analysis. The next game now is to become better, improve, and get better. To do that, we need to do deeper analysis. So we looked even further. The most profitable assets I had were 5 profitable assets, while the worst profitable assets were also another 5 of them. Now, what does this mean? If you look at it, it says Euro US dollar, British pound US dollar card, Australian dollar card, and Australian dollar Swiss franc. These are the best performing assets, while the worst performing assets were the Australian US dollar, the Australian dollar Swiss franc, the British pound Japanese yen, the US dollar Japanese yen, and the Euro New Zealand dollar. It went into visual insights, and you can see it right here. It went into telling me things, not just by saying this works, this doesn't work. It even decided to give you visual perspective. Look at it, see, does it work, right? Is it working? Clearly, the euro against the US dollar is by far the best thing I can do trend lines on, with $4,000 in profit. And this is, like I said, random crazy trades, just drawing the line and taking whatever I see carelessly. And then also the Euro US dollar, that is another crazy place, followed by the British pound US dollar, and last is the Euro British pound. So basically the majors, the top, in fact the 4 top major pairs are the place where trend line is absolutely crazy, because they are moving in a very, very great manner. And then the worst thing here is the Australian dollar US dollar. I'm going to show you something towards the end of this video that you're going to see, and to an extent it's going to make those of you who want to trade the Australian dollar US dollar using trend line be a bit of, get afraid or something. Now the average P&L per trades, right? Average P&L per trade, I can see that the Euro British pound is the best compared to here, where it seems like it's number 4, right? Number 4. Well, here it is the best. And then my total outcome distribution. So the outcome of all my trades, I have 57% of them in losses, 5% in break even, 38% in profit. Now it's recommendation, and I love this last part where it says recommendation. Focus on Euro USD, British pound USD, and USD card. Consistent profitability. Reevaluate or avoid Australian dollar US dollar, US dollar Swiss franc, British pound Japanese yen. They are frequent losses. Improve win rates. Consider refining entry/exit strategy or risk management, and leverage profit factor. A value of above 1 indicates a viable strategy. Aim to increase it even further, right? Which is what we're doing right here. We're trying to get better at what we're doing by refining and getting better. Literally, see those 3 pairs I just scored? I want to show you something. So I pulled down the account history. You know, I put it into an Excel, right? I decided to let's do a deep analysis into it. This right here is that account history you just saw, every single trade from start to finish, from 19th till today. And you can see it's a total of 40 trades. This was the one I took up yesterday. You can see here, count 40 trades. And if I filter out for, you know, it antagonized Australian dollar, US dollar, and I filter out for that, you can see every single trade I took here was a loss. Like back to back, every single thing I took was a loss. Absolutely, Jesus Christ. This is something I should run away from, to be honest. If you are trading something like this and you have noticed this, you run away from it. So this is the thing about becoming a better trader. You need to not just trade, but be able to document those trades so that once in a while you go back and look at it and you will know what to run away from. So right now, Australian dollar, US dollar is something I should run away from. It is clear, it is too obvious. Every single trade was a loss. Every single trade was a loss. Now compare that with something like, which he said is the best performing thing, the Euro US dollar. You can see that was the very first thing it called. Compare that with the Euro US dollar, where I had just about 2 trades less, but bruh, take a good look at this. Roughly $3,000 in the first one, $200, $97, $1,000, and then losing only $800 in one trade. So obviously there's way more profit here than in the Australian dollar, US dollar. Matter of fact, there's no profit in the Australian dollar, US dollar. I'm giving the market back whatever I earn. Whatever I make from the US dollar, Euro US dollar, I am giving it back to Australian US dollar, and that is terrible trading. Now, apart from this, the AI was able to do furthermore analysis, like what days of the day, what days my trading is best, what days do I have drawdown, what days do I work well. However, I decided to take this whole thing and concatenate it into an Excel. It give me an Excel with all those analysis done, which it did. Now this right here is an Excel that has everything. I mean everything. The summary, which we saw, but this time it was only looking at 40 trades because this particular part where it's doing, it's not looking at all 41 trades, right? Not looking at all 41 trades. And the reason why I said we have done more than 41 is if you come back to the account, you'd see I have 7 trades still ongoing. A lot of them are about to end up in losses, and Euro US dollar is no longer here. Whereas I think I had one Australian US dollar trade. That was the last one that went into loss. And you can see there are a lot of red barrels, like pretty red here. However, I don't care about all of this anymore. All those trades are just gone in my opinion. I'm heading into the next phase of the trading grounds. And what you notice here is it said each symbol, right? The total amount of trades taken, the total P&L for each symbol, and then the average P&L, which is obviously the total P&L divided by the number of trades taken. Now, anything I take one trade on, to me, is not something I can call average P&L. So to me, those are like lucky shots. I took one trade here, is a lucky shot. I took 2 trades here, it's a lucky shot. So 3 and above. And 3 and above, what you notice is there are only 2 pairs here that is a total flop. The British pound, Japanese yen, and the Australian dollar, US dollar. Matter of fact, the Australian dollar, US dollar is by far the worst thing I have ever laid my hands on. The worst. While the Euro US dollar sits on top. In short, what am I really aiming at saying here? It means, you see those pairs they call the most traded major pairs? That's where the real trend line really works. Because if you look at it, Euro US dollar, British pound US dollar, those are like, and USD Japanese yen. These are the, should I call, the most traded pairs in the world. And then immediately after that, you find US dollar CAD, which is, if you should Google it, you figure out these are like the top traded currencies worldwide. So why won't strategy work fine there? It's simple, because because of the sheer volume of people or trades and orders being placed in this place, the price is going to move very well. And when I say well, I don't just mean it moves like large amount of pips. No, I mean the movement is very uniform because a lot of traders analyze and determine what's happening here. They tend to follow suits. Like a lot of people are usually one-sided on this market. They are either buying or they are selling the market. Like it's a straight thing. They are either just doing one of the two. It's nothing else, nothing absolutely else. Buying or selling. They are not looking to make it go sideways unless they are like a lot of big traders are on short. Hence, this is a market that if you go in, you are either going to lose quick or win quick. And you can tell clearly from all the trades here. I lost quick, won quick. Now let's take a good look at some of the Australian dollar trades in reality. Now, I'm going to filter out for only Australian dollar, US dollar on this place. AUD, USD. Now let's take a good look at each and every one of these trades. You can see all here, everything was lost. Every single trade was a loss back to back. None was useful. Like, I felt so bad seeing this information, I won't lie, but let's take a good look at the whole thing, the entire scenario, and determine, was it luck? Was it just bad luck? Did it happen? Now this is the first trade, the first entry ever, and it was a proper analysis. What happened next? Well, price immediately reverted on me. Immediately. It didn't even say, all right, let's chill on this guy, let's, pity this guy a little bit, forgive him a little bit, try to, pamper him a little bit or other stuff. Nah, it didn't do that. It just went back on me. Taking a look at another one, let's skip some of them so we don't spend the whole day here. This one was taken on my phone. I saw price break below, just like the first one, price broke below, and I took a stance. What happened next? Immediately, price went the other direction. And this is something I've noticed constantly in Australian dollar, US dollar. You take a trade, price looks like it's going in a certain direction. The next thing, once you dive into the trade, what happens next? Price takes a clear U-turn, like a very wicked U-turn. You can see this. I kept a trend line here. It went immediate U-turn 3 times in a row. This was like the 6th time. We head into the previous sets of trade. I took another one on 29th at 7 o'clock in the morning. Let's see what that trade looked like. So this was the trade, hoping to now, I've been selling, right? I've been selling, it's been returning, selling, it's been returning. So I said, okay, price is moving in the buy direction, let's buy. And guess what? A new gun. Smoking gun, straight to the head. Poof! We went another direction. Okay, now it's going down, so let's sell. Let's sell. And the thing is, it always looks similar with the previous one. They always look so similar. What's happening next? Price goes against me. Instantly. Price is just so good at doing that. Moving in a certain direction, I dive into the trade, it goes the other direction immediately. It moves again, I dive into the trade, it goes the other direction again. So this is a currency I should completely avoid. It is filled with deceit. So me, I'm out of it. Now, what is the final solution of everything I am saying here? I know I've been yapping for long. What's the final solution? Well, we are building a new journal. This journal is going to incorporate a lot more. Now I'm going to have duration, size, and also, like we said, we've refined to trading a smaller amount of currency pair, about 4 currency pairs only: the British pound US dollar, the euro US dollar, the US dollar Japanese yen, and the US dollar CAD. And if these 4 things are not printing anything in the market, I'll just sit on my hands, right, and watch it go. The game is to become better in these 4 places, ground myself in those 4 markets, become profitable in it so much well that I can now, maybe trade a prop firm or dive into personal account management for myself and grow my portfolio and everything. So that is it for this video. It is all about analyzing the situation, looking at the losses, figuring out what works and what doesn't work, and then removing what doesn't work, focusing on what works, and hoping it becomes even better, which it should if you do the whole thing right. So at this point, I'd like to tell you thank you for watching. For those of you who enjoy this journey with me, absolutely great. I am planning something good, right? I'm planning to open a community soon on Discord or Telegram or somewhere where we can always have communication. But until then, see you guys. Peace.